Well, thank you, Sean Spiker, for joining us today from HiTec Commercial Solutions. We really wanted to highlight a lot of the commercial and manufacturing businesses here in South County that make us the tech and growing hub that we are. Obviously, the drone industry has been something that we've seen a huge investment in here, both because of military and because of some of the great facilities that many of you in the industry have fought to help get here, such as our drone test site, not too far from where we are. Well, a little bit further from where I am at the moment, but not normally where I am. So I wanted to thank you for joining us today. And Ephraim's going to introduce the company. But what we're doing with this series is we're putting together video introductions to companies here in the South County and getting some good information about them to help you understand who's here and how you can get involved in different companies that you may be able to work with. So Ephraim, over to you. I think you're muted, Ephraim.
Oh, there you go. Thank you, Jim, so much. And I want to thank everybody that's connected this morning, and also just go over some quick things really quick here. So if you can mute yourself, that would be great. It will help also the recording of this video. And this video will be available to watch afterwards. And if you have questions, we're going to keep the questions till the end. So our Q&A session will be at the end. And if you can raise your hand or send me a message, use the chat, whatever is easy, and we'll make this very easy to as an interaction, because I think having a conversation it's really important, and we learn much more that way. And so I want to begin by saying as well that Manufacturing Day is a very important event happening in October in the United States. And if you haven't heard about Manufacturing Day, this is something that is in a way helping the manufacturers, first of all, to get exposure, to get a chance to to present their products and what's being built in our own backyard. And it also gives all of us in the community an opportunity to learn exactly that. What's being built around us? How can we get the new generation excited about what's being made in the United States? So South County EDC is celebrating Manufacturing Day with a session of 3 presentations in October. And like I said, Manufacturing Day occurs every year on the first Friday in October. And this year fell in October 2nd, 2020. And in 2019, the President of the United States signed an official proclamation acknowledging National Manufacturing Day. And so for all of you that are in the workforce development as well, this is something for all of us to keep in mind. In economic development, what we try to do is to create jobs. That's our main goal. And so as you can tell right there in the screen, over the next decade, 4.6 million manufacturing jobs will need to be filled. So we have a lot of work to do, right? But we can't do it alone. We have to understand and hear it directly from the manufacturers to know what they need in order to know what kind of plan and strategy to take and move forward. Manufacturing Day is being celebrated in the social media with the hashtag, so all of us can use that hashtag MFG Day 20. And I'm going to go to the next screen here. And what is Manufacturing Day, or MFG Day? MFG Day addresses common misperceptions, about manufacturing by giving manufacturers an opportunity to open their doors and show, in a coordinated effort, what manufacturing is and what it isn't. And today, we're celebrating Manufacturing Day with HiTec Commercial Solutions. We thank our speaker, Sean Spiker, the General Sales Manager, for doing this with us. And we're connected via Zoom here. Who would have thought, right? We used to do this in person, and it was really exciting to go in their plants and be able to tour around, take students, the elected officials, and community members to get a feeling of what was being built in their plants. But with the circumstances that we're living today, and technology being a great tool, we're doing this via Zoom. So with this, I will turn it over to Sean. Sean, again, from HiTec Commercial Solutions, the General Sales Manager. Welcome, and thank you for doing this. The floor is all yours.
Thank you, Ephraim. I do appreciate SD, the South County EDC, putting this on and giving me the opportunity on Manufacturing Day to kind of tell the audience a little bit more about HiTec Commercial and the fact that we are a manufacturer here in San Diego. So thank you very much. So HiTec, primarily for the commercial solutions, is involved in the drone industry, and that would be the commercial drone industry. And of course, we build actuators for drones and medical devices and many other components that are used in 1,000, if not tens of thousands of different applications in the world. But primarily here in this facility, we manufacture drones. So there's many types of drones. There's the kind of drones that everybody's familiar with, which are the multi-rotors. You know, they've got 4, 6, or 8, or sometimes even more propellers, and they're going to fly around like a little helicopter. And there's also fixed wing drones, and those fixed wing drones can fly like an airplane. Some of them can take off like a helicopter, but they're going to fly just like a typical airplane, and they're going to be able to fly a little faster and cover more area. And that's kind of the primary advantage of a fixed wing drone versus a multi-rotor. But here in this facility in San Diego, we have engineering. That's going to be from software engineers to aerodynamic engineers. So, you know, there's a lot going on. There's, of course, production people, there's service people, of course, sales, and we've got some other people remote, such as marketing is here and remote, and then some other engineers that are also working remote. But it is a lot of people working towards the same goal of providing the best commercial drones to the professional services market, the professional drone operators, and to you know, utilities and oil companies and agricultural, these companies that can utilize drones in their day-to-day business and make their business more efficient and more profitable. So HiTec Commercial, well, HiTec overall has been around for nearly 40 years. And the start for the commercial division came when we were supporting the drone industries and our products for the last 10 to 15 years. And through the support of mostly military drones, we began to learn on how drones functioned. And we kind of had the opportunity to put our own spin on them. And with our resources through engineering and manufacturing, we decided we could build our own drones specifically for the professional and commercial market. And so that's how we came to be in existence. So about 4 years ago, we began developing this fixed wing drone right here, and this is the Xeno FX. So we designed, manufacture, we assemble this entire vehicle here in San Diego. Now some components are made in our factories elsewhere, but final assembly is done here. This meets the standard for a drone that is not made in China, and that's kind of one of the more important elements now as we come into the federal government and state governments buying drones is just the nature of drones themselves. They are connected to the internet, they are connected to satellites, and the opportunity for sensitive information to be passed on through those connections exists. So there are mandates now that any drones used by governments and other agencies must be approved, must use components from what's considered ally countries. So there are not very many drone manufacturers, commercial drone manufacturers in the United States right now. So we're happy to be one here located in beautiful San Diego, and doing our best to meet the need for a U.S. manufactured commercial drone. So I can kind of tell you some things about this particular drone. So this is like I said, a fixed wing drone. It is primarily used for surveying. So a sensor is going to fit into the belly right here, and it's going to fly. It could be doing mapping. It could be flying over farms for agricultural work. It could be doing just general surveys for engineering. It could be used for surveillance. But this is something that's going to go out and just hand launch. It's going to fly for about an hour and be able to cover a lot of ground in that hour. One advantage to something like this is it's going to be very easy to use. So just a simple toss, it's going to fly, it's going to do the mission on its own, and then it's going to come back and land on its own. And at that point, it'll automatically download all the data to a tablet. Another thing that we have developed here in the US is a flight planning software that's tablet-based. So somebody can plan an entire mission simply with their fingertips in the matter of just a couple of minutes. And that can be essentially anywhere they want to fly the drone. So very hands-on, very easy to use, very intuitive, and it'll also fly multiple platforms. Now, one of the unique features of this is for ease of use and ease of storage, this actually folds in half. So it's easy to transport and get to a lot of places. And a lot of times you're flying drones in areas that are remote. You know, they're not easy to get to. You don't want to have to carry something big and heavy and lug it around. Simply put this over your shoulder, go out to where you need to go do the survey or the mapping, put it together and launch it in a matter of minutes. So this is one of our products that we designed from start to end. We actually manufacture the foam material, we manufacture the servos, we've built all the circuit boards. It is completely our design, and it's something that we're very proud of. And it was our kind of our first launch into the commercial drone market. There are subsequent versions that are coming along, and we can hopefully on a future day I can talk about those. So I'll move over into one of our multi-rotor drones. So this is the Endurance. So this is more of the drone type of drone that everyone's familiar with, where it is going to have 4 props. It's going to take off and land like a helicopter. It's going to fly around and essentially doing the same type of mission. It's doing a survey, doing mapping, it's doing agricultural work. This one is used quite a bit for surveillance, for police work. We've done demos with a few police departments and SWAT teams lately where they're looking for thermal cameras. They want to be able to go out and inspect something or find an individual that might be hiding in or shooting at them. That was a recent use case. So this is something that they can send up and not put people in harm's way. They can fly it, they can see the video right back to at the control station and give them a more situational awareness. But it does also the same things as far as if an engineering company needed to make a very accurate precision map, they would send this drone up, it would fly that area, come back, and the information that they download is going to be accurate within 1 to 2 centimeters. So they're going to know where every manhole cover, where every faucet, where every pipe that comes out of the ground, they're going to know within 1 to 2 centimeters where exactly that is. And for cities such as San Diego and other surrounding cities, this is something that the engineers and the city planners need to know. And the information that they have typically is dated back decades, so it may not be accurate, and the information back then was not nearly as precise as it is now. So this is something that we're showing a lot for the utility companies. It's currently being used on a few areas around here that are sensitive, like Camp Pendleton and San Onofre, where any type of drone that does come onto that federal property, A, it must be vetted, and B, they must know it comes from a US manufacturer, not a consumer Chinese drone or not even a Chinese manufacturer. So we put a lot of effort and engineering into the fact that anything on this drone that transfers data is sourced from a allied country, and most of it's out of North America. So the radios, the boards, a lot of these components are either manufactured in the US or somewhere here in North America by companies that we do partner with. But we engineer, we do the software for it. So it truly is an American drone that we can sell confidently to federal government, the state governments, and to others that are worried about security. So any questions so far? I don't want to rush through this too quickly.
No questions so far. Anybody that's connected, any questions? No, let's continue.
Okay. So another product that we do build and design here, this is the ground control station. So a tablet will fit right here. And this will control the drone. It can control any of our drones. We do sell this to other manufacturers who are looking for a US built ground control station to install into their vehicles. So this has been quite popular. It's going to be, you know, a remote, and it's going to have the video feedback coming to the tablet. The operators are going to be able to see what's going on. They can see either going to a forward-facing camera, or if they have video or a thermal camera, this will show up on the screen of the tablet in real time. One of the local fire departments uses this to do their training, and if they go out and they want to, you know, for example, for burning passenger airplanes, they'll do training with the fire departments, and you know, the thermal camera will show where the hot spots are and the differences in the temperatures, and they'll use it as a teaching tool to go in and identify where the firefighters need to be concentrating their efforts on to make sure those fires get put out. Also, for going out for rescue operations, thermal is very handy. You know, they can send vehicles like this in where it's not easily to reach by foot or impossible to reach by car, and look for someone that is either lost or injured. So there's so many uses for drones, but again, it goes back to having a US manufacturer that can provide something like this, and with the service and support that HiTec has created over the years and such a great reputation for doing so, we're really excited about stepping into this industry and providing that same level for our customers. So it's been a lot of fun so far. So I can move on. So with drones, and all these drones are electric, we also had to come up with smart batteries. So smart batteries are essentially the only way a commercial drone should be operating. Batteries that know how much charge they have, they can take care of themselves. A lot of the chemistries that are used in batteries can be volatile. So we actually designed, built, manufacture the boards, and we're using some of the same cells you'll find in electric cars like Teslas. But you can travel with these confidently. The risk of fire or any other dangers that it's associated with batteries is reduced. The batteries will take care of themselves. The batteries communicate directly with the drone to let them know their status. If there's an issue, all these data points are communicated back to the drone. So at the end of the day, the user knows exactly what is going on and can fly as long as they need to and can safely operate without any worries about having just regular hobby type batteries that can have other concerns and issues that we don't want to deal with for the professional and commercial operators. Grab another product real quick. So this is a new product that we are about to bring to market, and it may not look like much, but this is what we call a GNSS. So this is a GPS device that's going to provide the precision information for any of these drones that will give it the accuracy that is truly needed for precision type surveys, and that's the 1 to 2 centimeter accuracy. So if this drone is flying at 400 or 500 feet, it's going to be able to take pictures, and the coordinates of any single point on that picture will be accurate within 1 to 2 centimeters. So again, it goes back to knowing exactly where something is on the ground with a GPS point, and knowing that that's going to be very, very accurate for engineers, for architects, for anyone that's going in and making surveys for cities and counties and commercial properties. That type of information is very, very vital. And again, this is a product that is hard to find from a US manufacturer. Most of them come out of China, and just simply because of that, they can't be used. So HiTec is going to introduce just in a few weeks our GNSS device, which uses a non-Chinese circuit. Again, we built the board, we designed it, and it's going to be used not only our drones, but there are a lot of other drone manufacturers all over the world that have already expressed interest in this. So, any questions on this product?
Well, I do have a quick question,
Yes, sir.
Sean. So the HiTec Commercial is a U.S. manufacturer of commercial drones. What is the difference between a commercial drone and a hobby drone available to any customer?
The differences are going to be performance and kind of the mission that drone was designed to use. But most consumer drones that everybody's familiar with, you can go to Best Buy, you can buy them online. You know, they're going to be designed for the consumer to use, and it's going to be more hobby-like. Something like this is going to be more modular in the types of sensors it's going to carry. It's going to be designed for a specific purpose, and that's going to be mapping or surveying. It's also going to be designed for the professional. So because of rules and regulations with hobby drones, you know, a hobbyist can't go buy a hobby drone and go fly near an airport. As soon as they turn that hobby drone on, it's going to say, hey, it needs to connect to the satellites, it needs to connect to the internet, and it's going to say, hey, I am sitting too close to an airport. By law, you cannot fly. Now, a commercial drone operator is going to be licensed, and you know, he might need to go out and fly. He might be being, you know, paid by the airport to go out and fly a survey mission, and that's very common within that airport radius. So they're not going to be able to use a consumer drone to go out and fly there. So they've got to use a professional drone that's going to allow the operator to make those decisions. Is, you know, am I flying in the correct area? Is it safe to fly? And so commercial drones are built with the knowledge that the end user is qualified, is licensed, and is out there as a professional using that tool in the way it was meant to be used.
Very good.
Sean, quick question. What's the difference in flight duration between the two drones?
So that's actually a pretty good question. So a fixed wing drone is going to be able to fly longer most of the time, and that's because it's using the wing as lift instead of just relying on the propellers. So this has 4 motors to stay in the air, and this only has 1 motor to stay in the air. So this particular drone will fly for about 60 minutes, and that's using a battery that's 1/3 the size of this drone, because again, lighter is going to be better. Lighter is going to give you more payload. Lighter is going to be able to make it fly longer. And this one, under ideal circumstances, with kind of one of the lighter sensors, it's going to fly about 40 minutes, which is still considered a long time for a fixed wing vehicle or for a multi-rotor. Some of the other sensors might be heavier, so that time might be reduced to around 25 to 30 minutes. But typically it's 30 and above for this particular drone right here. The next generation of drones will fly for anywhere from 90 minutes to 2 hours. We do also sell another product that does fly about 90 minutes. That's a fixed wing drone also.
When does the GPS come into the market?
We're hoping we start to ship in December. So we're still kind of finalizing some of the software, things like that. This will be what it looks like. You know, this is the case that's going to come with. All the circuitry and the board is inside here. There'll be an antenna that goes on this side, but it's designed to plug directly into the commercial autopilots that are available on the market for commercial drones. And an autopilot is going to be the device that's actually flying the vehicle. That's going to be the one that has the mission uploaded. That's going to know what type of vehicle it is, know all the coordinates and where it's supposed to be flying, how high it's supposed to be flying, and knows it's a little computer on board that knows how to fly that vehicle to make sure it stays where it wants. So it's just like an autopilot you find in a big commercial plane. They're doing essentially the same thing.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yeah, hey Sean, this is Tim Francisco, and sorry I missed the first part. I was on the Google Meet, that was on the invite, and just hanging out there. And when it kicked me off, I noticed there was a Zoom call. So sorry. So you may want, when on the invite, you may want to like on the other ones remove the Google invite. I don't know. Have you worked with GPC before? Like.
Yeah. In fact, my laptop is sitting on a big GPC case right now. So,
okay, cool. So you know Rick and all. So I'm relatively new to GPC. I guess I've been there a year. But I'm looking to grow the international markets. Now, are you for GPC? So that's what they brought me on to do. Now, are you distributing internationally? Like, sorry, I missed the first part of the call, or what's your goal with what you're doing?
We are. So HiTec is a worldwide company. We have offices in Korea. We've got manufacturing in Korea and the Philippines, also in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
So we are distributing all these products worldwide. Because of the radios and because of the approval, some devices can't go to certain countries, things like that. But we are seeing a big increase in the market for Asia, for Korea, for Japan. So yes, we are shipping our product overseas. We are shipping them in GPC cases. GPC is a great partner of ours, and and when we travel worldwide, we see a lot of drones in GPC cases, no matter where we are. So that's
my goal is to just get GPC global, grow the company that way. So that's what I'm tasked to do. And most of our stuff is going to be for the professional pilot, for the operations folks, not so much the actual drones itself. So we're complementary to a lot of things that you do. Yeah. But I saw this webcast. I was like, hey, I get to talk drones with somebody that.
Well, for the commercial drone market, it's very important to be able to get your drone to the place you need to fly. And a lot of those places, A, aren't easy to get to, and B, very difficult to get to when you're having to carry a lot of equipment. So in the design and manufacturing of all the drones, ease of movement, mobility, getting it to where you need to go is a large part of the engineering and manufacturing consideration. So, there's a lot of GPC cases we see at the airports when we fly around.
And you look at public safety, seconds count. When they, whether it be a fire department or police, when they get on site, they need to get this thing up in the air as quick as possible. They need to see what they have an organization system, open up, and get up as quick as possible. So we're cognizant of that, and it's working together with manufacturers like you to make sure that we it's all one system rather than separate. So anyway, so I'll send over my contact information, and obviously my hat is to grow all our international business. So if there's anything I can do for you, let me know. You're probably working with Jordan or Rick or something.
Exactly.
On the case side, but I have my little realm that I'm looking to grow here.
All right. Thank you, Tim. Appreciate it. So.
I gotta apologize for the Google Meet invite that was added when we edit and include the invitation, Google calendar invitation to go out to the new people that registered. Google automatically puts the Google conferencing thing in it. So anyway, apologize about that. I sent an email, another invite to everybody. Maybe somebody that missed it can join us. Sean, really quick, why is being a U.S. manufacturer significant for the commercial drone industry?
It goes back to security of the data being transferred, because at the end of the day, a drone is just a data collection device. A true commercial user really doesn't care what the drone looks like, how pretty it is. All they want to use it for is a tool that goes out and collects the data they need to get. A lot of times, in fact, most of the time, that data is going to be sensitive. It can be owned by the government. It could be owned by a company. It could be owned by utilities. They do not want that data getting into the wrong hands for all kinds of reasons. So they need to be assured that the data that drone collected is going to be secure. And there are a lot of things we do to ensure that there's going to be encryption. There's going to be, and that level of encryption has increased. The level has increased for what the demand is currently. So that level of encryption goes into, it goes into the GCS. It goes into the drone. It's stored on the drone. And there's even password protections and security protocols to simply even log in to talk to the drones. So not only for protecting that data, but for also making sure that if that drone is in the air, that drone cannot be taken over or spoofed by another device. So there's a lot that goes into that. We actually have more software engineers than anything else here, and a lot of their responsibility is for that security. But the information that these clients and end users are collecting, that belongs to them. They don't want anyone else to have it. A lot of times it's for public safety. A lot of times it's for, if it did fall into the wrong hands, it could provide it could create a security risk. So, we don't want the people that are going out and doing engineering surveys over power plants and utility lines. That information needs to be closely guarded. So part of that process is making sure that the drone is manufactured here in the U.S. It is manufactured by a reputable company, that the communication devices used in the drone are known. They know where they're manufactured, and they know that their information is going to be protected. So having a U.S.-made manufacturer, or a U.S. manufacturer for commercial drones is vitally important, and it becomes more and more important every day. There's a lot of federal agencies that could be Department of Energy or Department of Interior. Their drone programs are essentially grounded right now until they go out and purchase and get trained on U.S. manufactured drones, because what they have currently is considered a security risk, and they're not flying.
And Sean, 2 questions here. Does your company, HiTec Commercial Solutions, manufacture other products besides drones, and do you do custom manufacturing?
So we do. We like I said at the start, we're one of the world's largest servo and actuator manufacturer, which are used in drones, they're used in hobby products, they're used in medical devices, general industrial, manufacturing. But for the drone market, they are very closely tied. We've built servos that are specific to drones using specific protocols that talk directly to the autopilots to make things safer. A direction that the commercial drones are going will, of course, be for delivery, where they'll be flying over crowded populations, they'll be flying over houses, people, there'll be drones everywhere. Part of the FAA and everybody's job is to make those drones as safe as possible. So redundant systems are being built in. So we're part of that manufacturing group that's making those systems that'll make the entire drone safer to use, safer to fly over crowded populations. A lot of that has to do with devices that provide feedback to the autopilot. So if something does fail, something does go wrong, the autopilot is made aware of it, and the autopilot knows what to do in those situations. So it's building in safety protocols. That's a big part of our business. We custom manufacture drones for other companies. We turn things that aren't necessarily designed as drones into drones for other companies, for military applications, things like that. We do a lot of engineering services that are drone related, where could be military, it could be private companies, but they need a specific task done that is either for controlling drones, building drones, devices that go on drones. And our engineers here, because we are a U.S. company, and because we're all U.S. citizens, and we can provide the necessary clearance and security data, we're doing that for other companies, making custom products, customized drones. So you name it, we've probably been asked to do it, and a lot of times we have done it when it comes to the drone industry. So, and that's again a big part of our business. A lot of engineering efforts as this industry grows, as it goes in other directions, as it uses different forms of communication to operate. We do have our hands in a lot of those projects.
So switching gears a little bit, and I'm going to refer to your bio actually, because I would like to talk about workforce development. So I would like for you to explain a little bit to the audience, and especially those schools from K to even college and university, how important this is going to be moving forward for the new talents to get excited about manufacturing. And I was reading your bio, and it's really exciting because you've been with HiTec for 15 years,
Right.
and in both sales and operations.
So,
And that's kind of unique to see both sides of the company. And, you know, you've been in decades in radio control knowledge and expertise that make you a significant asset for HiTec Solutions, Commercial Solutions, and understanding all facets of the drone business, from an actuator engineering to flight control systems, that is very critical for the business and for you to, you know, to sell, to go out there and sell. Says in your bio as well that avid hobby enthusiast and Part 107 certified drone pilot. Not everybody can be an engineer, but, you know, not everybody can be, you know, working the assembly lines. And I think that every single employee in a plant or a manufacturing company is extremely important, extremely essential. Give us a big picture, like how, if we were to walk in and look at your employees, your assembly line and everything, R&D, the manufacturing piece of component, how important this is, especially those that are testing the drones. And I mean, I see you have that certification. Is this something that's needed? I mean, speak to the students out there that can say, you know what, I do want to work for a company like yours.
well, I do consider myself quite lucky to be an employee of HiTec. It's been a great company to work for, great people, but it has also been a chance to enjoy working in an environment of the, you know, kind of the same things that I like to do on outside of work. So, you know, fly airplanes, fly RC gliders, things like that. So that part of it's been a lot of fun, but to get to walk into the office and see, you know, engineers that they're an engineer because that was their passion. That, you know, it could be they're aeronautical engineers, so they like designing airplanes. They're an embedded engineer, and they love designing, or they love creating programs that allow the drone to fly better, to allow certain sensors to be used. You know, what I kind of tell the average person is drones are actually very, very complicated devices. The flying is actually probably the easiest part. The hard part is making everything else work together well. And that's why we have so many software engineers, because there's a lot of different components, a lot of devices all working at the same time. And they all need to work cohesively, and that takes a lot of software. So, you know, if you were to come visit HiTec, you'd see a production area, and there's 4 or 5 guys walking around. They're building drones every Friday. A lot of those production people and some of the engineers go out and they actually do test flying every Friday. So, and they bring multiple drones out there. They might be testing an update. They might be testing a change. They might just be testing drones that have just come off the assembly line, just for general flight testing. So there's a lot that goes on. There's service people that are answering the phone, answering questions about drones. There's engineers that are looking at 3 and 4 different large screens with CAD files, with other large screens that have thousands and thousands of lines of code. There's a lot of things being built, a lot of meetings, but one thing everybody has in common is they're here because they really have a passion for the drone industry. They really like what they do, and we do work with a lot of like STEM programs, a lot of college programs. We work with a lot of colleges directly. A lot of the projects that these universities or their groups are working on, we give them product, we help them along, we kind of share some of our knowledge that we've learned over the years to some of the younger, less experienced, and you know, kind of give them advice on where to go, but also giving them product. You know, the drones, they're not inexpensive either, and a lot of times these college students don't have the money to go out and spend $5,000 or $10,000, $15,000 on a drone. So we do a lot of donating of product. So we try to help out where we can. We support a lot of the university programs for their up and coming drone programs. Their dealing with agricultural, dealing with just the engineering. So we try to remain pretty close to those programs. When they ask us for something or ask us for our input, we always try to answer those questions and give us as much as we possibly can. So, we're still hiring. We're hiring young engineers, young interns that are coming out of these colleges. And so, we like to talk to them. We like to see what they've got going on. We're supporting groups right now that are looking at doing the speed record for a drone. We'll take 2 or 3 engineers and take an hour out of our day to talk to these guys and get them the product they need. So it's a lot of fun. And for the young people out there, stay curious, stay hungry, find what is a passionate career for yourself, and you'll go far with it. So.
Awesome. Anybody else that will have a question? Like to ask a question to Sean?
Another question for you. I know, obviously, given the circumstances that we're in right now, are you currently doing any site tours of your facility?
Not exactly. I would have preferred to be able to kind of do this in maybe the production room where you could see drones being built in the background, but due to all the COVID protocols, everybody's wearing a mask. It would be hard to do this wearing a mask. So, but hopefully in the near future, we will be doing that. We do have a lot of the robotics teams that are local to San Diego. Quite a few of them have been by. They love to bring in their robots and show us what they're doing. And kind of the same way that the robot programs have been part of the curriculum for a number of years, we're starting to see that with drones. And I've actually encouraged a lot of universities and schools, like this is the direction it's going to be headed. The way you're working with robots right now, it's going to be the same with drones in a few years. And that's not only drones that fly, but drones that are surface drones, drones that go on top of the water and underwater too. They're all very tightly related. But yeah, hopefully in the near future, when things return to somewhat of a normalcy, we'll start giving site tours and people can see the drones and other products being built in real time or real life.
Thanks.
We have a couple more minutes for questions. Anybody else have any questions? I see the chat line. There's nothing there either. Well, any wrap up closing remarks, Sean, that you would like to give us?
I would love to kind of talk about all the stuff we have for the future, but unfortunately, we just can't yet. But that's one thing that keeps me excited going to the office yesterday is not only the things that we've already accomplished, but the things that we're working on that will make our products better, make other people's products better. So it is exciting, and HiTec's a great company. We've been around for a long time. We do pride ourselves on the level of service and support that we've given to all our customers over the years. There's a lot of great places where our product is right now, and so we're just trying to continue that, make things better, hire some more engineers, hire some more salespeople, and continue to grow. So I do appreciate all the time this morning, getting to be a guest for Manufacturing Day. It's been fun. But I think my contact information is part of the call. So if anybody would like to reach out with any questions, I'm more than happy to answer that. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Sean. This has been really, really exciting. Who would have thought, like I said earlier, that we will be meeting this way and doing a presentation over Zoom. I'm pretty sure you and many other companies are used to this, but it's not the same, right? We like to have that in-person contact and see the reaction of even your potential customers or things like this. But hey, the conditions that we're in kind of gives us an opportunity to be creative, and that's what we're doing here with via Zoom. So thank you again. Thank you so much. We respect you guys a lot. For all our viewers and everybody else that is going to be watching this afterwards, this recorded video, we thank HiTec Commercial Solutions for working with us. Sean Spiker has been a speaker, a well-respected professional that is well-respected in the United States. And so we're very happy to have you, Sean. So thank you again so much. For all of thank you. And for everybody that's going to be connecting with us, we do have one more presentation, and that's tomorrow. We're celebrating Manufacturing Day with a new bee drone. And if you haven't registered, please register. We do apologize for the little glitch. It's not my fault. I'm going to say for the record, Google is your fault. Whenever you edit an invitation, you send it to new people that register, it automatically puts a Google Meet there. But anyway, I'm glad you all connected, and I'm happy that you guys are able to watch us and then continue to watch this. But spread the word, please spread the word. To register for tomorrow's presentation, go to our Eventbrite. There's the link right there. If you don't find it, please send us an email or call us, 619-424-5143, or social media, and that's where we're going to put our video as well, so you can share it. So you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, and share it. Let's get that's the motive here about Manufacturing Day. Get people excited about what's being built in our own backyard. And HiTec, you've been amazing today. Thank you so much, and have a great day.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.